We are back. It has been some time. It has been a very, very long time since my last video. It's probably been around a year since the last time I posted a YouTube video, and a lot's changed in the last year. It's kind of funny looking back now, like, of how much things have changed and kind of the rate at which things grew, which, like, for me was, quite significant. I don't know if the word's emotional, but it does hold a lot of weight. Kind of thinking back to like where I was a year ago, and like to where I am now. Probably the biggest regret across the last 12 months is kind of not keeping up with the YouTube videos. I think like what's been done in the last year would have been pretty cool to kind of document and have there, especially with all the traveling that was done, with the shows that, we had clients in, the way we grew our business, the trips that we took to continue to grow the business. And then also just like all the little things that kind of happened in between. I've made some pretty cool memories with some pretty cool people within that time too. But what are the main things that have changed since last time I posted a YouTube video? One of the biggest changes in my life, and probably happened around the time that I posted my last YouTube video, was I met my girlfriend Bailey. So that's a pretty significant change that's happened in my life. Among that, also have grown the business quite significantly. Since the last time I posted a YouTube video, we've kind of taken our business, clientele-wise, we've more than doubled our clients from where we were last time I posted a YouTube video. As well as that, we've more than doubled our monthly revenue between then and now. And then probably the biggest thing that's recently happened is we just bought a gym. So buying a gym now is pretty crazy. And in February of this year, I set my 5-year plan up, 5 years goals of what I wanted to accomplish across the next 5 years. And in 5 years' time, my goal was to own a gym. To bring that forward and accomplish that within 3 months is, was pretty crazy. Still hasn't really fully sunk in yet. We haven't opened the gym and we haven't moved in there yet. That's, going to be happening in 8 days. 8 days we take over, which is very surreal, very scary. And it's going to add a lot to my plate, but fuck it, more the merrier. And that's kind of like why I wanted to start making YouTube videos again and start putting things out there, was because of where life is going to start going. I really wanted to make YouTube and the long form content a bit more of a priority, because I think what's coming within the next couple months and this year and the next year, and the way that things are growing and the way that I want them to grow, I think it'd be really cool for me to have there and to be able to look back on. And I also think I just think it's cool. Like, I really think it's cool what we're going to be doing and what the plans are, what the goals are, what my ambitions are. I think it's just, if it can help one person, give one person a little bit more inspiration, aspiration, a bit more direction, something to help someone, I think, why not? That's what we do it for. So I wanted to try and get this first one out, because over the next month, a lot's happening. Essentially, as I said, the gym opens in 8 days, so today's Sunday, but on Wednesday or Thursday, we travel to Adelaide for IFBB South Australia, and then we get back on the 30th of August, and then the next day, overnight or late Monday afternoon, we go into the gym and we start taking over the gym. We start putting everything up in there. And then 4 days after that, we go down to Sydney for New South Wales IFBB show. And then 2 weeks after that, we go to Victoria for Nationals IFBB show. So that's all with Brendan. Brendan's one of my clients, but he also has bought the gym with me and his partner Chantel. So it's the three of us, working together, building out this gym. So it's going to be a very full-on month, but a very exciting month, and probably my biggest month and most life-changing month of my life. But some more detail about, how things have gone over the last, well, even this year. Like back in the last year, not a lot happened. It was kind of just more so some groundwork to kind of set up what was to come for the start of this year. Since January, like a lot's happened. A lot of business growth has happened. We, even from January, have kind of grown the business. I think we've added an additional 12 grand a month revenue onto what we were doing in January, to where we are now, which is pretty cool. But on top of that, like a lot of traveling, a lot of learning, a lot of very cool things have happened. So in April and May, we prepped 5 athletes for their shows, all did really, really well. I think we had athletes in, 6 different shows across New South Wales and Western Australia. So getting to travel to Western Australia for a show was pretty cool. And that was a very, very full-on weekend. I wish I had have recorded it because it was, one for the ages. Also traveled down to Melbourne twice for some mentoring and some business workshops with Reese Livingstone, which were really, really pivotal in growing the business and giving me some more direction on how to make things operate better. I'm really, really focused at the moment on making my business function, as well as possible. And it's not to take away from the coaching, it's actually more so to enhance the coaching. As you scale and grow a coaching business, if it's not done properly, you take away your ability to coach efficiently and properly, and it takes away from the people that you're coaching. Where my idea is, if I can get my business running as smoothly as possible and as well as possible, it enables me to be the best coach I can, because then there's less stress off my plate, which will then give me the ability to have more focus and more emotion put towards coaching, rather than just being burnt out trying to fix all the issues. So that's kind of the reason I've done so much, work on growing the business, is to try and get that up to where it is. But on top of all those things, also traveled to Bali. Kind of went my first holiday I've had in a while. Obviously, if you've watched my other YouTube videos, you'll know that I'm going on a couple like little weekend getaway trips with mates and stuff, which were cool. But it's still, it was only a weekend. But Bali was cool. Ate a lot of good food, made a lot of good memories. Still worked every day I was over there, for about 4 or 5 hours every day. But it was still cool to like have a bit of a lifestyle shake up and enjoy the different gyms over there. Enjoy the food. Food was actually really good. Like my gut health and digestion was way better being over there than what it is when I'm actually in Australia. So that was actually quite funny to have that difference there. But essentially my main point for this video was to kind of set myself up for what's to come and what's going to be happening moving forward, as I kind of just wanted to make a bit of a reintroduction, I guess, and get things back into the routine and swing. It's been hard to kind of manage things, and YouTube for me was just one of those things that kind of fell in the back seat, because as the business started to scale up and progress and we started to try and do all these other things, it was just I didn't have the emotional capacity to do it. And especially when I also stepped in the position of trying to build a relationship with someone too. It just, you can only give so much before you can give nothing. And I found myself kind of getting to the position where I couldn't give anything else. So now I feel like I'm in the position where I've adapted and I've grown, and I think that moving forward, it's something that I can redo and bring back into my life, because it's what I want to do too. I think, like, as I said, we're going to be doing some pretty cool stuff soon. So getting that out there is, I think will be really good. I'm exceptionally grateful for everything that's happened across the last year, and especially everyone that's stuck by me and continue to join my team, be a part of my community. It's even just been along for the ride with certain things and supported with, whatever we do. Like all that stuff really means a lot to me. And anyone that watches this video, I really appreciate you for clicking on the video, for making it this far. And I hope that we can continue to build things, create things, grow things, progress things, do things, all the things. We want to do all the things. But outside of, all the business stuff and all the growth that we've had, I think probably the best thing and the biggest thing is like the growth that's happened for me as like an individual. And I think that even though I felt like I was in a good space before, that's only continued to keep getting better. I've learned more emotionally and also educational wise. I feel like I'm a more capable human being now than I was, you know, back when I was making these videos before. Even the workload that I have now is kind of like tripled, but I have better capacity to handle it, better emotional regulation. I'm just better. Like, and it's just at the end of the day, like, you kind of got to take on all the hard things that come your way and accept it as a challenge. But other than that, that is pretty much a bit of a wrap up of where things have been for the last year, essentially, and why I haven't posted as much as I've wanted to. Still been posting on Instagram pretty much every day for a large duration of, you know, the year. I've really been focused on trying to get as much content out there on Instagram as possible, but obviously that's all short form. I kind of do that on the fly while I'm doing it. And I guess like lead generation is kind of like the main thing in order to keep growing the business. I'm not really interested in going viral or being an influencer or you know, having X amount of followers. I don't think that really matters. Essentially, like, I want to just create like a good community and a good culture among people. And I guess that's you know, buying the gym and going into the gym space is another evolution of that, and just a physical space to take it rather than just being online, which we've built a pretty good online culture and community. Having that physical space to do it, I think, is like the next step, and that's where we want to start. And obviously we have our goals and our things to keep doing moving forward from then, but yeah, that's the start, and we continue to move from there. But as I said, I appreciate everyone that clicked on this video, everyone that's watching along. I appreciate anyone that is along for the ride, who's there to support us and help us grow. When the gym opens, we hope to see everyone there. But yeah, other than that, we will see you on the next one. As I said, I'm going to bring camera, film when we go to Adelaide. So it'll be Adelaide, gym opening, Sydney, Victoria, and then I'll be back in Victoria again on the back end of October for another workshop. And outside of that, hopefully all we see outside of that is just more growth, not only in bodybuilding, in business, both online and the gym space, but just in general too. So love you all, appreciate you, see you on the next one.